It's the Joseph Bristol Show.
If you enjoy the video, hit the like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe.
Welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show, where I go over different things about life, and I just talk about things that I've learned and I feel, and social changes that I think need to be done in order for the world to just be a better place, right? And on today's episode, I'm doing this a little bit different. So what I've been doing recently is I basically been when I get a thought, I'll voice note. I'll make a voice note about whatever thought that I'm having. And then the idea was to use that voice note as a reference to make an episode or a video, right? Of the Joseph Bristol Show. So on today's episode, because I got a bunch of ideas for different episodes. So on today's episode, I want to talk about here we go. I want to talk about, what was it? It was understanding self. Yeah. Understanding yourself. Okay, so I believe it's just these 4 references that we're going to go through. So we're going to listen to what I thought, and then maybe I'll add to it or I won't. But we're just going to listen to the thought that I was having as far as understanding yourself in reference to a relationship. Right, because the idea was, in order to be in a healthy, growing relationship, you have to understand yourself, right? And one of the things that I've been picking up recently, especially with interacting with people, is people don't want to change. I've been talking to people, and people want to stay the same. They think that who they are as a person is perfect. I don't need to change. I'm good. I'm not changing. I am going to be who I am. This is who I am. And in my mind, I'm that's so dumb. That doesn't make any sense. Literally, everything changes. Everything changes. The seasons change. Time changes. The planet changes. Animals change. Everything changes. So what makes people think that they can stay the same, that they don't have? Even God changes. When you read the Bible, God in the Old Testament is very different from God in the New Testament. So if God changes, who are you to stay the same? That doesn't make any sense. I'm trying not to get upset about it. It just, it makes me so angry. It irks my nerves. It grinds my gears when people act like they don't want to change. You sound so dumb. So dumb. So let's listen to the clips.
Because the whole point of this is when you open up, when you truly
are able. Number 2. So let me see if this is number 1.
So watching this YouTube video about a recovering avoidant, people who self-sabotage, ultimately run away from love and isolate themselves and things of that nature. And what it made me realize is it goes back into the idea of understanding yourself, understanding who you are in your...
Right, because people will self-sabotage. And sometimes they don't even know that they're self-sabotaging. And they don't know that because they don't understand themselves, right? So they don't even realize that they have attachment issues, avoidant issues. They have abandonment issues. They have, that they're scared. They don't even know that they're scared. They think that they're anxious. They think that they're nervous. But in all actuality, what they're feeling is fear. And that fear is making them behave a certain way. So they don't even know they're self-sabotaging because they don't understand themselves.
Mistakes and your vices and your bad habits so that you can then teach someone else about it so you can be loved. So, for example, I am the type of person that when I get upset, I can say hurtful things. I will say mean and nasty things. I'm not going to lie and make things up, but the things that I will say are truths. And it's like, wow, did you really feel that way all this time? Why didn't you just say that? But that's my thing. So what I would do when I'm entering into a relationship or the possibility of one is I'm going to tell the person that this is my bad trait. Am I working on it? Yes, absolutely. But that way they understand that if we're talking and they upset me and I say something mean to them, I'm not doing it to be nasty. It again is just something that I'm trying not to do. So they would have the patience and the understanding to turn to me and say, hey, listen, that hurt my feelings. You can't talk to me like that. And I thought you said you were working on it. That's not cool. Then in response, I would say, you know what, you're right. I am working on it. I'm sorry. I apologize. I will do better. And we move on from there. But you have to tell people. So if you say, yo, I don't like talking, I'm not a big talker. Okay. Obviously, throughout the relationship, you would work on talking because you understand that communication is the key to any type of successful connection to another human being.
Right. So with that, right. So yes, that is my bad trait, and I really am working on it. I tend to get angry and I snap on people. I say hurtful things to people, and like, you know, I've lost friends, and you know, my family thinks I'm crazy, and you know, the only person that can really tolerate me like that is my big sister, because she understands that I'm not, you know, it's not coming from a place of malice and anger. Well, it is coming from a place of anger, but it's not coming from a place of like malice where I'm just, you know, intentionally trying to be hurtful. But I have lost relationships over me getting upset and then saying something. And I'm trying hard not to do that. And I talk to my partners about that. I explain that to them, that this is a problem that I have. But people can only take so much before they're like, okay, well, it's you're working on it is not enough for me. I got to exit the situation. And that's fine, man. Hey, man, more power to you. We all have our little, that's my phone, text messages and stuff coming through. We all have our little, like, you know, quirks and funny parts about us. And eventually you find someone who is patient enough to work with you through your changing and your growth. Let's continue on because I want to do all four of them.
Because the whole point of this is when you open up, when you truly are able to say and express yourself, first off, nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. You barely even know you. So let alone for someone else who's not hearing your thoughts, not feeling your feelings, not feeling how your body feels. To know you, be serious, right?
So what I'm talking about when I say you barely know you, it's a fact. We, again, change. We all go through changes. We grow. We become different people. As you experience life and you go through different things, you will change. You will get new knowledge. You will change your mind. You will grow. You will develop. So you barely know yourself, let alone for someone else to know you. So you have to give people the time and the energy needed for them to understand you and grow and learn you as you learn yourself. Because remember, they're learning themselves and they got to learn you. Like, you know, you got to be understanding with people.
So that's where the communication comes in. But if you have the ability to say these things to people, you give them the chance to, one, help you change and grow. Two, learn to tolerate your behavior if you don't change and grow. Three, able to love you in the way that you would need to be loved. So, yo, you know, I don't like it when I don't like being touched. That's not that person's thing. But you notice that they will touch you. So, okay, they don't like it when other people force physical contact on them, but they want physical contact. They just only want it on their terms when they want it. So you would learn this. You would understand this. You would know, okay, I'm not going to initiate a hug until they initiate a hug to me. They have to show me that they want to be touched, and then I will touch them until I notice that they pull away. And when they pull away, okay, that means they don't want to be touched anymore. Now, if you're a touchy person, then you got to make that decision. Do I want to stay with someone who I can't even touch? Just like if you're a talker, you can't be with someone who doesn't talk unless they listen. So now that's different. If you like to talk and you're with someone who doesn't talk, but they like to listen, that's fine. You could be with them. You know what I mean? Now, if they like to talk and you like to talk, that's even better because now the two of you talking. And if they like to talk and listen, even better. But you understand, you have to open up. You have to talk.
Talking is the most important. I hate is such a strong word, but I hate people who act like they don't need to change and people who say that they don't like talking. You sound dumb. You sound dumb. You sound dumb. The only thing that separates us humans from the animals is talking. If there was any animal on this planet that could do what we're doing, talk to each other, we would be at war with that animal. I want you to stop and think about this. If dogs could literally say to each other, yo, man, my owner, he slapped me, he kicked me. Oh, my owner don't do that to me. Well, mine does, man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. You know what? You should probably say something, man. You should probably get with... I know a dog that owner used to beat him and he got adopted. Oh, yeah? What's that dog's name? Oh, he lives down the street. That's talking. There's no animal that does that. There's no animal that does that. None. Absolutely none. If any single creature on this planet did that, talked to each other the way that we did, they would have a civilization. Our whole civilization came from talking. Literally came from talking. So when people fix their ignorant mouths to say, I don't talk, you sound dumb. You sound stupid. Because most of those people who say that, they're lying. They don't want to talk to the people that they don't want to talk to, but they talk. They talk to their friends. They talk to the people that they like. They just don't talk to everybody. So maybe they won't talk to you, but maybe they'll meet someone in the future that they love so much that they talk to them. So they didn't do it for you, but they'll do it for someone else.
So it's like, yes, I like you. I want to be with you. And I want to take this trip down to Orlando to visit your family, but I don't know. I feel weird. I'm scared to get close to you. I'm not used to getting close to people, right? So if you've been in bad relationships and you're currently healing, you're going to say these things to your partner, to the person that you are trying to be with. Like, yo, I really do like you and you seem really nice and I like the way things are going. And because things are going so good, I don't know, I feel weird. I feel scared. It feels like none of this is real. And I feel like now I'm looking for every little thing that you're doing wrong just so I can feel normal. Because all I've ever known is chaos and I don't know anything about a healthy, growing, happy relationship. Like, these things have to be said if you're feeling them. That's, again, goes back into being able to talk to your partner. Communication is the key. You have to be able to say whatever it is that you're feeling. Like, literally, whatever it is that you're feeling, you have to be able to say that. You have to be able to say, when we were out, I saw you looking at that girl and it made me feel jealous. I don't know why. I didn't too much like it or I don't like it when you wear those pants, man. They make your butt look real fat and I like your big juicy booty, but I want to be the only person that sees it. I don't like when you wear those pants. It makes me feel weird. It makes me feel insecure. You have to be able to talk to your partner. Communication is the key. It is literally everything when it comes to connecting to another human being.
Yes, you have to be able to talk. So it's the same thing. You should be able to express your insecurities, your fears, all of these things. And that's not just in a relationship. I'm talking in general with your friends, with your family, anywhere you go, at your job. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to say how you feel. Hey, man, that thing you said hurt my feelings. And I really didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that. Please don't do that again. Well, I said it because blah, 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 blah. Okay, I understand why you said it, but I will do better. Can you do better? I'm not doing any better. Screw you. Now you understand how that person feels because they're talking. Even someone who says that they don't talk, they need to talk to say that they don't talk. Like I'm trying not to be animated, but it makes me so, and I hate it. I hate people that are unwilling to change, and I hate people that act like they don't talk. I hate that. Here's the last one.
Like, this communication point cannot be emphasized enough. It's just like a woman who grew up watching her mom be taken care of by her dad. So her mom never had a job. Her dad worked all her life, but he used to beat on the mom. He would call her names. He would tell her how she don't have no money. She don't make no choices, blah, blah, blah. Because this girl saw this all her life, she then gets into a relationship, but she never wants to not work. She never wants to be the type of woman that gets taken care of by a man. She is totally against that. Now she meets this guy, the guy likes her, the guy wants to take care of her, and let's say she hurts herself. It hurts her leg or something. So now she really can't work. She has to be taken care of by this man. Or better yet, she gets pregnant and she's on bed rest. She's going to feel some type of way because this goes against what she wanted. But she has to be able to speak to this man. She has to be able to talk to her man and explain herself like, yo, look, I went through some stuff when I was younger, and I don't too much like depending on a man. This feels very weird to me. I hope you can understand. And then explain to him, yes, I don't mind if you take care of me. Thank you for helping me. I appreciate you helping me. Or nah, don't do nothing for me, or I'm going to pay you back, or whatever. But you see what I'm saying when I say the communication, when I say that some things, not even some things, all things need to be said. The only things that don't need to be said is being nasty, intentionally saying nasty, hurtful things to somebody. Those things don't need to be said. Keep your negative thoughts and words to yourself. But expressing yourself, that needs to be said.
Right. So you might think to yourself, well, what a hypocritical thing to say, because you just said earlier that when you get angry, you say hurtful and nasty things to people. Absolutely. So what my problem tends to be, or what my problem was, I haven't really gotten to exercise my new self, right? Because I've been going through changes and transitioning. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I gave up, a lot of the emotional roller coaster. Because when I was younger, I got diagnosed with manic depression, but they don't call it that anymore. They actually call it bipolar disorder. So, I maybe I'm bipolar. I don't know. But I don't take any medication. I was self-medicating with alcohol and marijuana, right? But these things put me on a emotional roller coaster. And I realized that I got to give these things up in order to try to mentally regulate myself through meditation and exercise and more self-understanding, understanding who I am and how I function and what I need in order to not have such a volatile, visceral, emotional reaction to every little thing that's happening in my life, right? But that took time and self-understanding. I had to be patient and understanding with myself. But what I'm saying when I say that, everything needs to be said. Everything needs to be said. So if you are going through grief, and maybe you don't know you're going through grief because, the person died 5 years ago, 4 years ago. No one can define or tell you how long your grief lasts, but you have to be able to recognize in yourself that you're grieving and you need patience and understanding to get through your grief. And so, yes, you will push people away. Yes, you're not going to communicate and talk your feelings because essentially you feel numb. You feel numb and hurt on the inside, and you don't know how to express that. You don't know the words to say for what it is that you're feeling and thinking on the inside. And that's okay, but you have to be able to say that, to express that, hey, I don't know what's going on with me, but I feel weird, I feel funny, and so I don't really want to talk. I don't want to talk about the future because I don't know. I'm scared of the future. I've been going through so much. So much has happened to me that I don't think about the future. I don't plan for a future. I'm just scared. But you have to be able to say that. Communication, man. Communication is everything, people. It's everything. You have to be able to talk. And don't fear looking stupid. Don't fear, oh, what if I say this and she thinks I'm dumb? What if I say this and he thinks I'm desperate? What if I say this and they show other people and they laugh at me? What if I say this and she thinks I'm gay? You don't fear that, because that fear is just as palpable, tangible, feelable, as real as the hurt of regret. You have to say what you have to say, right? So you broke up with this girl, but you still think about her, you miss her, you want her back. Two things to that. If you know this girl is no good for you and she's just gonna hurt you some more, maybe don't reach out to her, because again, she's not ready to grow and change and be better and love you in the way that you need to be loved. So maybe you don't need to say anything. Write it down on a piece of paper and then throw it away. You love this girl, you miss her, and you messed up the relationship. You made a mistake, and she did everything pretty good. Not perfectly, but pretty good. And she's willing to change and adjust. But you were the one that was being hard-headed and you messed it up. You pushed her away. You can reach out to her. In fact, you should reach out to her. Not only to apologize for pushing her away and essentially hurting her, but also to express yourself in the sense that, look, I was hurt, I was damaged, I was broken. I'm not really trying to get back with you, or maybe you are, but I just wanted to explain to you why I did what I did, why I acted the way I acted. There's nothing that should not be said. At least in my mind, that's how I feel. Again, communication is everything when it comes to humanity, to people. It's talking. Communication is everything in every sense, because look what we always say. We say, yo, you got to communicate with God. You got to commune with God. You having problems in your life? That's because your connection with God is not good. And how do you create a connection with God? You got to communicate with him. Through prayer, through acts of worship, through various different things. But communication is the key. It's everything. It's everything. It's everything. That being said, man, thanks for watching another episode of Joseph Bristol Show. Yo, listen, so I'm gonna probably make more episodes like this, because you can see that I got like a whole list of voice recordings that I need to turn into an episode. So I'm going to try to drop more of these. I'm going to try to make more of these like this, in this sense. I got a couple of them that I want to make, talking about spouses and acceptance, being alone, ideas of relationship. Matter of fact, I think the next one is going to be sexual energy. Yeah, I think so. So thanks for watching another episode of Joseph Bristol Show. With that being said, let's all remember, man, we all out here trying to do the same thing. Survive and be happy. Y'all stay blessed.